Before we dive into today's game changing news, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on any of our Chicago Bulls updates, especially with what's coming next. We're diving deep into a topic that could reshape the future of the Bulls and possibly send shockwaves throughout the entire NBA. All right, let's get into it. Zach LaVine, once the crown jewel of Chicago's basketball dreams, the player who was supposed to lead this team to glory, is now facing a reality that few could have predicted. His trade value is plummeting. Yes, you heard that right. Plummeting. For months, the Bulls have been testing the waters, trying to gauge interest in LaVine from other teams. They were hoping for a blockbuster trade that could bring in elite talent or high draft picks, something that would reignite their championship aspirations. But the reality is hitting hard. The asking price the Bulls had set was simply too high, and potential buyers quickly backed away. But here's the twist. Chicago is starting to realize that LaVine might not be as valuable as they thought. According to Casey Johnson from NBCS Chicago, LaVine's market value has dropped significantly. We're talking about a player who just a couple of years ago was seen as untouchable, someone you could build a franchise around. Now, the Bulls are finding that the offers coming in are far less than what they had hoped for. While they're not ready to let him go for nothing, they've drastically lowered their expectations. They originally wanted all-star level talent in return, along with multiple first-round picks. But now, that dream seems out of reach. So how did we get here? To understand the present, we need to take a step back and look at the decisions that brought us to this point. Back in the summer of 2022, the Bulls faced a critical decision. Zach LaVine was a free agent, and the Bulls had to choose. Do they let him walk and potentially lose their best player for nothing? Or do they lock him down with a massive contract? They chose the latter, signing LaVine to a 5-year, $200 quinze millions de dollars extension. It was a bold move, a statement that the Bulls believed in LaVine's ability to lead the team to success. At the time, it seemed like the right decision. LaVine was coming off a strong season, showing that he could be a dynamic scorer and a leader on the court. The Bulls didn't want to risk losing their star player, especially when the future of the team was so uncertain. But as we fast forward to today, it's becoming clear that this decision might have been a costly mistake. LaVine's recent performance has been plagued by injuries, and it's taking a toll on his value. In the 2000 E-20 Trace season, he managed to play 77 games, a solid showing by any measure. But this season, he's only appeared in 25 games so far, and the season is already well underway. This lack of availability is raising red flags for potential trade partners. Teams are looking at LaVine and wondering if he can stay healthy, if he can return to the form that made him an all-star. And that's not the only concern. The Bulls' and the Cavs' overall performance as a team has also been underwhelming. The roster, built around LaVine, Lonzo Ball, and DeMar DeRozan, was supposed to be a competitive force in the Eastern Conference. But instead, it's starting to look like a project that's running out of steam. Lonzo Ball has been dealing with injuries of his own, and while DeRozan has been solid, he's not enough to carry the team by himself. So, where does this leave the Bulls? The team seems to be heading towards a crossroads. They could be looking at a rebuild, a dreaded word in the world of professional sports, but sometimes a necessary step to get back on the path to success. The current core of the team isn't getting any younger, and with LaVine's trade value dropping, the Bulls might need to make some tough decisions. Do they hold on to LaVine and hope he can return to form, or do they cut their losses and try to start fresh with new talent? This situation is evolving rapidly, and the Bulls' front office is under intense pressure to make the right moves. Fans are understandably anxious, wondering what the future holds for their beloved team. The decisions made in the coming weeks and months could define the Bulls' trajectory for years to come. Will they rise from the ashes and build a new contender, or will they struggle through a painful rebuild? As we continue to monitor this story, one thing is certain: the Chicago Bulls are at a critical juncture, and the outcome will have far-reaching implications, not just for the team, but for the entire NBA landscape. The LaVine saga is just one part of a much larger puzzle that the Bulls need to solve. Before we wrap up, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We'll be bringing you the latest updates as this story develops, and you won't want to miss a single detail. The future of the Chicago Bulls is in flux, and every move counts. Stay tuned because this could get very interesting.